from beautiful Duncan, Oklahoma. Welcome to the Stevens County Fish Fry, the 18th annual. I'm Andrew Spino here on behalf of Project 46, along with Daryl Simmons. Daryl, tell us what we have in store tonight.
Everyone, tonight we're going to get a chance to hear from candidates at the state and federal level. We're going to have county treasurer candidates. We're going to have the Senate candidates. We're going to have Governor Stitt's in the room. We're going to have an opportunity to engage with the people who want our voice to be carried into the halls of power.
Right, and the stakes are high with the June 28th primary coming up. This is going to be a long video. It's going to be worth watching because Daryl and I are also going to be doing a number of one-on-one interviews with candidates and movers and shakers here in the room, and there are a lot of them. So stick around. You're going to want to see the whole thing here on Project 46.
Hey everyone, Daryl Simmons here with Project 46 Media and Red River TV, and I'm interviewing U.S. Senate candidate and tallest man in the room, TW Shannon. TW, thanks for coming out tonight.
Oh, man,
Talk to us.
Having me. It's a privilege.
How has the campaign trail been so far?
It has been wonderful. I got to tell you, Oklahomans from all over the corners of the state are lining up to get behind our message of prosperity and really limited government. You know, what we talk about is making America great again. But the question is, what made this country great to start with? And I say it's three things. It's capitalism, it's Christianity, and it's the Constitution of the United States. That's why I'm running for U.S. Senate, because we need a candidate that can go to Washington, D.C. and push against the liberal agenda, the woke agenda that's trying to take over this country.
Now, you brought up capitalism. A lot of people know you as the man behind the bank. Conservative commerce, right? Tell us how that is rooted in what you do on and off the trail.
Well, you know, we're here in Duncan today in southwest Oklahoma. I'm from Lawton, and my story is pretty simple. I had two wonderful parents, two parents that taught me I could be anything I wanted to. They grew up in a segregated Oklahoma, but they taught me I could be anything I wanted to be. And as a result, by the time I was 40 years old, not only did I have a chance to remain married to my wife for 20 years, over 20 years now, happily married, but I had a chance to finish college, law school, worked for two members of Congress, Tom Cole and J.C. Watts. Got a chance to run for the state legislature when I was 27 years old. And when I was 33, my colleagues elected me Speaker of the House. Since I left the legislature in 14, I've been in banking, building dreams, building better lives for everyone and helping people's dreams come true. I'm the CEO of a bank. And I don't tell that to brag on me. I tell that story because that only happens in America. That is an only in America story. And I'm running for the U.S. Senate because there is a narrative coming out of Washington, D.C. that says that story can't happen, and it's a lie. America is still the home of opportunity, and it's not the home of systemic racism. It is the home of systemic opportunity.
What do you bring from the banking industry and from your very diverse background in other businesses? What are you bringing into this race that just really puts you ahead?
Well, I really think it's my conservative principles and the values that I have that taught me that hard work is where it's at. You know, we shouldn't define, like the liberal Democrats try to do, we shouldn't define prosperity and success by the number of people we get on welfare. We should define it by the number of people we get off of welfare. And that's what capitalism does. Listen, I have a heart for people that are born in generational poverty, and that is something that's plagued Oklahoma a long time. Democrats have been promulgating that we need bigger government to fix it, but the truth is that doesn't fix it. The only thing that has moved people from generational poverty into the middle class is capitalism. It's the only system known to man, so we should be promoting that and encouraging people to go to work, because the best social program in the world is a good paying job.
Market capitalism is responsible for more wealth movement, more dynamic, absolutely, than any other system. This is not your first rodeo. How is this campaign treating you? How are you feeling? What's your take on this run?
Well, you know, there are 13 people in this race, so it's a crowded field. So we're definitely headed to a runoff. All the experts tell us that it's going to be me and another person in the race. And I really think, you know, being the only person in the race that's credible, that's west of I-35. I think that gives us a huge advantage. But frankly, our message of prosperity and how we move people from generational poverty into the middle class and that focus on capitalism, people are resonating. They're recognizing that we can't continue to do what we've always done. Washington, D.C. and the politicians in Washington have failed America. They failed Oklahomans. You can look just this week where we had the U.S. Congress voting to send $40 billion to Ukraine. I think that's a mistake. We've got a baby food shortage right here in America. We have other needs. We have other priorities. Joe Biden has not given any idea about what the plan for Ukraine is. We have no idea, but we still have Republicans that have lined up with Joe Biden to send $40 billion to Ukraine. And I think that's a mistake, because ultimately we could be funding Russia because we don't know what the plan for Ukraine is. So again, this campaign really, people are uniting behind our message and finding that we can't send somebody from Washington, D.C. back to Washington, D.C. We need somebody from Oklahoma. I've been here creating jobs, working in the private sector. I served in the public sector, and I'm ready to go to Washington, D.C. to push against the woke agenda that I think is plaguing America.
No one gets where you are in life without understanding that you have to have a plan in place before you ever land at the starting line. So let's look forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's look into after the election. Senator Shannon arrives at work on his first day. What's your game plan?
I want to understand exactly what our military capability is. The big question facing the world right now, and this isn't just facing America, the entire world wants to know, is this next century going to be led by America, or is it going to be led by the Chinese Communist Party? And if it's going to be led by America, which I believe it will, we have to have the strongest military in the world. You know, we're losing someone like Jim Inhofe, who's been a real champion for the United States military and our 5 military bases here in Oklahoma. And we need someone that's going to go to Washington, D.C. and again, stand for our United States military. It used to be you could go to Washington and just beat the Democrats. But now once you beat the Democrats, now you got to turn around and you got to beat the woke media. Oh, by the way, after you beat the woke media and you beat the Democrats, now you got to go back and you've got to beat the woke corporations. And that's a challenge for everyone, but we need leaders who will stand on principle and push against the woke agenda. And I'm the only guy that I think can do that in this race.
I hope you do. If you win, I certainly hope that you do that. We call them the DAM media, the DNC Agenda Mainstream Network.
Well said.
So you're welcome to use that as you need to.
That's good.
TW Shannon, thank you again for your time. What's the next step in the campaigns?
Well, we're busy crisscrossing the state, talking to voters. We're here in Stevens County. We'll be in Tulsa. We're going to be on Grand Lake during Memorial Day. We've got all types of events lined up. We're going to be doing town halls across the state, talking to voters and making our case. That's what this is about, and that's why we're running, because we know we're the candidate that can go to Washington, D.C. and push against the liberal agenda.
Our audience is all across the state and even out of the state. So is there anything that you need to say directly to our audience right now?
I just like to say to your honest, look, I'm a Christian, I'm a capitalist, and I'm a conservative. That makes me the Democrat Party's worst nightmare. That's why I want to be your next United States Senator from Oklahoma. I'd be happy to have your vote.
All right, there you hear it from TW himself. Thank you very much again.
Thank you so much for that.
Good luck on the campaign trail,
My pleasure.
and God bless.
Thank you for what you all are doing.